Well, my peeps, I'm back again. I'm going to upload these videos one right after the other. Can't stop thinking about Melania. So I pulled out my Cartomancer cards, which I have never used ever. This will be the first reading using these cards that I have ever done. Let's see if I can pick up I guess it's this one. The main card for Melania's energy. Oops. These cards are a little more slippery than the ones I've been using, brand new. I think this one here is poked out and wants to be in this position. And this wants to be in this position. I'm going to move my candle up out the way. Now, this card wants to be in this position, and this card wants to be here. Okay. Let's take a look and see what this tells us. All right. Melania's main card is love. All right, that's interesting. Love. Obviously, this is the Two of Hearts. The Eight of Diamonds indicates an obstacle of some kind. Let's see if I can get better lighting if I just move that out of the way. Well, we have an obstacle to love. That's what it feels like. Pretty straightforward. Now we have the Faith card, the Three of Diamonds. Boy, that's a sad spread, isn't it? Love is the thing that's most on her mind. There's an obstacle to love, yet there's still this faith that this is going to work out. We have the Anger card. So my sense is that the Anger card it's underlying the problem she's having with love. She's angry about this obstacle, but yet she's not ready to let go of her love. Obviously, it's feeling like her husband. The last card we have here is the Eight of Clubs, which indicates introspection. Okay, let's look at this. Well, you know, this spread dovetails into the one I just did. It like drills deeper and still tells part of the story. Her love for her husband is what this is about. There are obstacles, as we all know. Those obstacles have been making themselves loud and clear. Obstacles like the extramarital affairs, and also just his general attitude toward her. He gives lip service to how wonderful she is, but you wonder how much he really believes that. I don't sense that this is an editorial aside, okay? So it's not about what the cards are reading. This is my personal editorial aside. I don't feel like he maligns her, or he feels that she's any less valuable than any other person in his family, except for maybe Ivanka. But she doesn't get elevated more than anyone else either. At least that's what I feel like his emotions are towards her. well, no, emotion's not the right word. Thoughts are towards her. I, I don't sense the guy is being very emotional. Okay, I'm going off where I don't belong. So let me come back to the reading. So she hasn't let go of wanting her family relationship, her relationship with her husband to work out. She hasn't let go. Even though she's had a lot of this crap to deal with in the press with Stormy Daniels and, all that. She is angry. She's dealing with this anger about all of this. And it's really, really hard for her. I sense the reason why anger is so hard is she doesn't really know how to express it, or she isn't allowed to express it, or she's afraid to express it, or she's just beaten down so much that she knows expressing it's not going to make a difference. So anger is right up in her heart right now. Now we have the introspection card. This card seems to speak to the 3 or what was about 3 weeks that she was out of the spotlight. Didn't have any public appearances from the time she went into the hospital to have her procedure on her kidney up until this past week. Late this week, she was at a function. Press wasn't there. A few photos got leaked out. She looked, vibrantly beautiful like always, but she didn't speak during this function, and no press was allowed. I don't think. That's what I read. She might have spoken, but I read that she didn't speak, so I'm not certain of that. But anyway, I know for certain that no press was allowed. All right, so what does this tell us? Well, it couldn't be any more straightforward. Sure, her relationship with her husband. She wants to keep. She's dealing with all the bad press that he's gotten, and I mean all of the bad press, the affairs, his general misogyny, just the whole 9 yards. This is really causing her a problem in her relationship with him. Poor woman, man. She still has the faith that somehow this is all going to even out and things will go back to the way they used to be, or she will be able to deal with all of this the way she used to, which may have been, here's another editorial, may have been just ignoring it and pretend like it wasn't there. That's my editorial. That's not what the cards are telling. Her biggest thing is anger. God, she's just so angry. She wants so badly for this thing to just go away. And she has just come out of, and is probably still involved in, but these 3 weeks that she's been gone has been about this introspection. She's needed time away from the spotlight. She's needed time to think about all of this, to try to put it in its place in her mind and in her heart. Sadly, I don't feel like the introspection really did her a whole lot of good. I mean, it gave her a respite from the pressure cooker that she's been in, but I don't feel like she's come to any conclusion, and now she's back in the spotlight more or less, and all of this is continuing to build. God, I feel so sorry for this woman. I just really do. This is a shoot. I wouldn't wish that kind of a spread on anybody. Poor Melania is just, she never asked for any of this. And yeah, you can, again, here's more editorial. You can make the argument, well, she knew what she was getting into. Well, yes and no. I mean, we don't know how how completely he swept her off her feet. We don't know how sophisticated she was when he said, you know, come away with me and be my wife. We know that she broke up with him at least once during their courtship that lasted a few years. So obviously there were issues before they got married. You know, she's from a different culture, a different country, an entirely different lifestyle than what your average American gold digging woman might be from, you know. And so she probably wasn't raised to understand what the wealthy in this country understand about marrying. You know, it's more of a merger than it is out of love, and in many cases. And the quality of marriage can be very different for the upper classes than it can be for the rest of us who fall in love and then get married. I'm speaking on intuition here on this editorial. Certainly that's not always true. Wealthy kids end up sitting side by side at Harvard Law School. They fall in love and everything's hunky-dory. But it's not always that way. Interesting thing about Trump is he's not upper class. He's wealthy, but he is, and he rubs elbows with the upper classes, especially now because he can do them all so many favors. But you know, he's just a scrappy. I don't even want to call him scrappy because that's almost a compliment. He's just a street guy. He's a street guy, and so I don't know. But he plays by the rules of the wealthy, is what I'm trying to say, when it comes to marriages and how expendable they can be if a better merger is, you know, down the road. I'm going to stop talking about this right now. There's a lot more I could say about how I feel about that, because it isn't always true. A lot of times in very wealthy families that have old money, it's just understood, you know. Bitsy and Skip are going to eventually grow up and get married, regardless of, you know, where they go to school, how many lovers they have before. When it's time for Bitsy and Skip to get married and bring the family fortunes together and, you know, solidify their political and financial worlds, Bitsy and Skip have understood that from the time they were children. So, you know, in a way, Bitsy and Skip might be sort of looking forward to fulfilling that. God knows they've both been well raised and have pretty teeth and, you know, are athletic and well read, and regardless of how intelligent they are, they can generally talk at a dinner table all night long and not be offensive. So, unlike me, I'm generally offensive at the dinner table because I talk about, you know, topics like this. Anyhow, there we go. Okay, so the Cartomancer cards gave me what felt like a very true reading, and then also loosened my tongue and made me talk a little bit. So I don't know. These cards might be a little more dangerous than I thought. Anyhow, thanks everybody for sticking with me, especially if you held on to the end, listening to me yap. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.